Good evening and welcome. You're listening to Modern Mystic Radio. My name is Sarah. You're also listening to Ask One Radio, the world's #1 psychic radio network. Let me just quickly introduce myself. My name is Sarah. I'm working as a psychic full-time. I've got over 27 years experience. Clearly I'm based in the UK as well, so I have my own private practice over here. You'll also see me on Psychic Today, which is a UK TV psychic show. So I'm on there quite frequently. You'll see me quite a few times during the week there. And like I said, I have my own private practice. This is where I work with my own private clients. Also do email readings and Skype readings for those of those people that can't actually reach me or get to me in person. So I work primarily psychically. I'm also a healer. I work with a system called Reiki. I also work with a system called Seichem. And also, I'm very, very much into the law of attraction. I'm a law of attraction coach. So I try and incorporate all of that within my readings. So I work in a variety of different ways. So primarily what I first tune in with your energy, are these are called the Psi cards. I've also got my own traditional cards as well. I like to tune in to soulmates and twin flames and all your soul connections and look at your soul pathway, your life purpose, your soul purpose through the Akashic records. So I'm an Akashic record reader as well. So if you want to get a hold of me outside of the radio show, you can do that by visiting my website, which is UK. There you can have all of my contact details. Also, you can find me on the usual forms, Facebook, Twitter, etc., etc. So quickly, I'm going to be taking 2 calls today. But before I do that, I want to talk about last week. For a lot of you, it's been really, really challenging. It's been a really, really difficult week. And so I want to talk about the element of spiritual cleansing or psychic cleansing. Now, this is not just something that our psychics have to do. All of us are very, very sensitive to negative energy, sensitive to the vibes given off by other people. Now, over a period of time, it's like this energy kind of sticks to us. And this is the point here where you might find that you're struggling to manifest, or your energy just drops and you start feeling a little bit negative yourself. Now, if you're finding that you've got absolutely no logical reason for feeling negative and feeling that negativity, whether it's anger, whether it's sadness, whatever it is, doing a spiritual cleansing exercise can be quite helpful. And it's something that I try to do about once a week. It doesn't have to be difficult. It doesn't have to be hard. The techniques that I use that I'm going to share with you today are very, very quick, very easy, and very, I want to say very inexpensive as well, which is obviously vitally important. But if you're trying to manifest, you're trying to bring something in, and you've got a bit of a challenging energy, clearing your energy field very, very quickly is a way of almost like amplifying your energy and amplifying and clearing the intention that you're sending out. So it can be quite important if you're looking to be manifesting anything new into your life. So one of the ways that I cleanse and clear, I've got 2 ways that I use specifically. The first is with white sage, and I just literally light that and waft that around me. It just is fantastic for clearing your own energy field and also, your environment. So you can use that for cleansing houses of negative energy, whether that's in the form of like a spiritual negative energy or whether it's just to create harmony. Also, what I do use is a salt bath, just a normal sea salt you can get from anywhere. Just put a handful of that in, and that really does clear my energy fields completely. So it clears my chakras, clears my aura, and then I'm ready to rock and roll. Now, as a psychic, I'm very sensitive to the energies of other people because I work with people that are going through problems, for the majority of the time. It's only natural that I pick up some of that energy. Okay. Now, this can happen in any field of work that you do. If I just cast my mind back to when I what I call had a normal job, I quite frequently pick up the negative energy from my boss or from fellow colleagues. And if you are sensitive, that will stick on you. That will kind of stick on you. So if you're finding that you're in that kind of environment, having a regular spiritual cleansing technique is probably going to help you out in terms of, protecting your own energy and getting rid of other people's energy. You don't want to be walking around with that stuff. So another way that you can work is also visualization. Okay, visualization and meditation, where you just concentrate on all of the chakra points, start clearing and cleansing them with the form of color as well, and then cleansing your aura, visualizing your aura being filled with a beautiful white light. And it really is that simple. But the benefits of doing that are absolutely mind-blowing sometimes. So bear that in mind if you're trying to manifest and you're not being successful. Now, what I've also found here, we're talking about like last week, I found that people have been going through a really, really challenging energy. Now, that could be to do with negative energy that's around them, but we've also got been going through and coming up to a quite strong eclipse period. We've had a lunar eclipse, and I think we're coming up to a solar eclipse as well at the end of this month. And now all of that, it gives us very, very intense energy, in a challenging energy. Because we're looking at whenever we have an eclipse, it kind of brings forward anything that's sort of bubbling away within our subconscious, things that we need to look at that perhaps we've buried a little bit deeper within. So I have noticed from not only my clients, myself, my own experience, but also, things that I've been seeing on social media, etc., that people are going through this very, very challenging energy. So if that's something that you can relate to, then please do get in touch. You know the numbers. Like I said, I'm going to be doing 2 callers, and I'm going to start off with our first caller, which is D'Angelica in Texas. Okay, hello, D'Angelica. How are you? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, wonderful. Right, so you're through to Saira at Modern Mystic. Do you have a question for me?
No, I heard you talking about like soul readings and like your soul purpose in life. I'd like one of those if that's okay.
Yes, okay, no problem. Right, so what I'm going to do here for you is I'm going to use 2 methods. I'm just going to pull out a few cards, and then I'm going to grab hold of my Akashic crystal and just tune into that as well. Okay, let's just see what we have here. Okay. I have to go quite deep here when I do my soul readings. So I've just got my Akashic crystal here. So what I do when I work with this is I just rub my thumb over the entrance of the crystal, and just tune into that there. Okay, so I'm just tuning into your soul energy, and I feel here it feels like it's like your journey. I feel like your journey so far has been, I feel, really, really challenging. I feel here that it's almost like you've had to go on almost like a crash course with emotions, if that makes sense. So I feel like your experience so far in this lifetime has been quite emotionally based. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does.
Yeah. So the whole point of that, I feel, is it's almost like an education here that your soul has had to go through. So you may have felt actually at times that you were almost like quite unlucky, in certain aspects, but it's nothing to do with luck or not having luck or being unlucky. This is more to do with your own soul's growth, because I feel very much that you are incredibly spiritual in nature. You're very sensitive. You always have been. I think you've always been very sensitive. And also I feel here it's almost like the element of I feel like finding that balance, if that makes sense, finding that balance within your personal relationships, whether that is romantic relationships or family or friends or colleagues. I feel here that has been quite challenging for you. Does that make sense to you?
Yes, it does.
Yeah.
It comes with being an empath.
Yes, yeah. Well, I think here that you were born that way, and you were born that way for a reason. Because what I see you doing with all of that, it's almost like a bank of knowledge that you've acquired, okay, over what feels like your lifetime so far. So all of that is almost like equipping you with creating an emotional link with the people that are around you, or maybe even like the clients that you have. So do you work as a psychic as well?
No, I don't. I'm still kind of in training. I just now, like, I know I've been an empath for a long time, but I just now, like, recently got into the spiritual world of it, and I got to control separating my emotions from others. So I'm still a newbie with the whole empath.
Okay. I mean, I think going forwards, you will be working in that field. Okay. And like I said, all of that empathic nature of yours is almost like coming to a point, a climax here. Over the next, I want to say over the next sort of 5 years, I feel like you're pushing yourself. You will be pushing yourself more and more and more. And what I think you'll find almost like naturally here, I'm just going to pop my crystal back down, but what you'll find naturally is that people will gravitate towards you, and you'll find yourself almost like counselling them, okay? Counselling them and giving them that kind of support for whatever it is that they need. And you'll do that quite naturally. And I feel like you do that naturally already. But what you'll find here is that you will be able to take that one step further. So all of your ability, I know you say you're in training at the moment, but I want to say you're already quite a long way ahead. You know, I feel like you don't need, actually, you don't need as much training as you think you do, because I feel with you, you know, this is almost like something you are destined to do, but I feel that it's almost like you've got to get yourself on the path here, and then what you'll find here is that the right clients or people will start to be drawn towards you, and what you'll also find here is it will be the same types of people with the same problems that you'll kind of work your way through. So we're looking at situations that you can relate to very, very strongly. Okay.
Yeah, I understand all of that.
Okay. Now, I do feel here that over the next 5 years, all of this is going to really, really open up for you. And what I'm being told here is that it's very important not to confuse yourself and just really go naturally with your natural empathic element here, and not to lose yourself in trying to get too technical. Does that make sense?
Yeah, because I'm still like I said, trying to separate my emotions from others and making sure I'm not second guessing. And I've been doing better about listening to my instincts on the empath side.
Okay. Yeah, and I feel here that you're already very, very strong. You're already incredibly, incredibly strong here. It's almost like, I don't want to change that. You know, spirit doesn't want to mess with that. Does that make sense? Because it's very pure. That's what I want to say. Rather than strong, it's very, very pure. And I feel very much that I want to say over the next 12 months, I feel like there's going to be an opportunity that's presents itself to you that is going to, I want to say, take you out your comfort zone a little bit more, and propel you a little bit more forward. But I feel here, you know, you're absolutely designed and meant for a very, very strong spiritual pathway. Okay, and I feel like you've been on that pathway really since early childhood. You've always been very much in touch with the emotions of people around you. And I'm very, very glad that you called through today, because obviously we've been talking about the element of cleansing. Now, for somebody like yourself, being able to cleanse yourself of the emotional energy of other people is going to be absolutely vitally important for your own well-being. Does that make sense?
Right. Yeah, a quick question, too. I have been, like, doing a lot of meditating and stuff, like, especially at night. I listen to, like, the meditation music when I go to sleep. Well, here lately, I noticed I've been waking up almost the same time every night, and it's normally between, like, 3:30 a.m., 3 to 4 a.m., and I know that's, like, the witching hour. I feel like I have a very strong feeling I'm supposed to be doing something at that time, but I don't know what. I don't know if you can read and the universe tell you kind of...
Okay, Right, okay. I mean, that is, I know people call it the witching hour. I used to be woken up at that time, and quite often it's also, I want to say, wide awake, bright awake, you know. I totally get what you're saying here, and I feel very much this is your spiritual guides trying to, I want to say, almost like download lots and lots of information here for you at that particular point in time. So what I want to say is almost like they don't want you to, something like, that you're open to receive any guidance from a higher source. Okay, with the intention, obviously, letting only positive energy coming through here, and see what you kind of get here, because it may very well be that you might get messages through, or it may be more energy that you start to feel at this particular point in time. If you're finding it to be too much of a disturbance for you, you can ask your guides to change the time and change the format. That's something that I use.
The time doesn't really bother me. I just don't know if I'm supposed to meditate during that time. It's like an overwhelming feeling I'm supposed to be doing something as soon as I wake up, but I'm not sure what that is, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I feel that you need to be meditating at that particular point in time, okay? And then I feel like you'll be able to actually quickly drop back off to sleep. But it's like you're being woken up, because it's very, very quiet. You know, in terms of energy and the buzz that's around us, it's incredibly quiet time of day, and it's very clear at that time of day or night, whichever way you want to put it. So I feel here that I want to say, try and close your eyes, meditate, and just allow whatever it is to come in for you. I feel like it's almost like you're being pushed to. They want to teach you. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I've been feeling more of a sense of like being drawn to the other side, I guess you would call it, but I don't know how to explain it. Like being called to the other side.
What, in terms of what called to the spirit side? Is that right?
Right.
Okay. Well, like I said, providing you got your protection around you and everything, it's going to be safe to do that. But I feel like your spiritual guides are trying to teach you something here.
Yeah, I have been asking for them quite a bit lately.
Yeah, so I think they are answering you. They're trying to answer you, and they're trying to give you that information during a time that's incredibly clear, in terms of the outside world. Well, I'm going to have to leave it here, but thank you very much for calling through.
Thank you so much for your help.
Thank you. Take care. Bye. And we have our next caller. This is Patchouli in Queensland, Australia. Hello, Patchouli.
Hello, how are you?
Hi, how are you?
Good, thank you.
Right, so you're through to Saira, Modern Mystic. What would you like to ask me?
Basically, just if I'm on the right path with what I'm doing at the moment.
Right, okay. Let's have a look for you. I'm just going to pull some cards out, and let's just see what I get. Oh, these are good. These are good. I like the look of these. Right, okay, so I'm just going through here, just putting out a few cards. I I want to say absolutely you are on the right track. I want to say here there's no need to doubt that track. I feel like there have been delays or there have been setbacks and it's kind of made you question what you're doing. But I feel very much, I get a sense of over the next 2 months, really being able to jump forwards here with, it's like a new pathway, new direction that I feel like I've got you, going into and opening up with, okay? This I feel is going, I get highly successful
Good.
in terms of the outcome here. I feel like it's almost like all of your previous experience is almost like coming into one point, and it's like you're taking all of that and really running with it. Does that make sense? I feel like what you're going to do here is something you've been building up to, whether you've been aware of it or not, for a very long time. Does that make sense to you?
Yeah, it does. Totally, yeah.
Yeah. I'm getting with you, almost like I'm being told here that it's like I've got you at the start. It's like a start of a race, actually, is what I'm being shown here. So I feel like you are gearing up and you are ready to go, but you haven't quite gone just yet. Does that make sense to you?
Yep, yep.
Yeah. So what you're being told here is within the next couple of months you're going to get a takeoff point. Okay, that's what I'm being shown here, and it's almost like run with it. I feel, how can I put it? It's not like you've got some sort of grand master plan here of how everything is going to pan out, and I think this is kind of making you feel a little bit sort of shaky in terms of whether you're going to be able to do this, whether you're going to be able to pull this off, And I feel absolutely you will be, because you're going to be very, very much guided by spirit, by your guides, by your own soul here. Okay, so you're about to reach and go into what I feel is a very, very powerful time in your life. I feel here you are going to be, what I'm being told here is that you are going to be amazed at how things turn out for you. So, in terms of your original question, are you on the right track? I would say absolutely, absolutely. And it'd be this year that you will be able to go forwards with that. And what I also love about your cards is it's indicating your life changing. I want to say exponentially, hugely here, transforming, almost like beyond recognition. So where I feel you may have those elements of doubt and insecurity, I feel like you've got to kind of almost like push through them, push past them. And I feel very much that you will absolutely get to where you want to be in a very, very short period of time. So I want to say over the next 2 to 3 years, we've got a huge amount of growth potential coming in for you. So is this something that you've already started or about to start?
Well, it's something that I've already started, and, you go through your doubts, and we're about to start a new, action plan to get to where I want to be, and I'm just like, should I, you know what I mean? It's been like, I don't know if this is right, or...
Yeah, I would say don't doubt yourself. Don't doubt yourself, because I feel like, how can I put it? It's like you're being steered by a higher force, by a higher mind that has all the plans in motion. And so it doesn't really matter whether we know what they are in advance. And sometimes that is a beautiful thing that we don't know. So when these things come up, I want to say you're going to be very much guided by your own intuition. So don't doubt. There is also somebody coming in to your life that is going to help you in some way. Okay. I'm getting quite a strong male energy around this person. And I feel very much that they're going to offer you an opportunity to really push yourself forwards further again. So each time you reach a hurdle, I see you jumping through it and then going on to the next level. But this year I feel is going to be an incredible year for you.
Oh, fantastic. Thank you.
Okay, you're more than welcome. Now, I'm going to have to leave it there because that is pretty much the end of my show. So thank you very much for calling through.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Take care. Bye.
You too. Bye.
Okay, and that was the lovely Patchouli. So we have Patchouli and Angelica. So thank you very much for calling through. It's an absolute pleasure and delight as always. So if you want to get hold of me outside of the radio show, my website is modern-mystic.co.uk. There you can actually get hold of me directly. So if you have any questions or perhaps you want a private reading, that's the way to actually get hold of me. So for now, I'm going to thank you all for listening. It's been an absolute pleasure. So have a great week ahead and enjoy the rest of your evening. Goodbye for now.